Ultrasound-Guided Aspiration of Prepatellar Bursitis. Welcome to this educational video on ultrasound-guided aspiration of prepatellar bursitis. Prepatellar bursitis, often referred to as housemaid knee, is a frequent cause of anterior knee swelling. The condition arises when the prepatellar bursa, located between the skin and the lower half of the patella, becomes inflamed and filled with fluid. This inflammation may result from repeated kneeling, a direct blow, gout, rheumatoid arthritis, or even infection. Patients may present with noticeable swelling, redness, warmth, or tenderness over the kneecap, sometimes accompanied by fever in cases of infection. Let's begin with a quick look at the anatomy. The prepatellar bursa is a thin, synovium-lined sac that lies superficial to patella and patellar tendon, just underneath the skin. Its primary function is to reduce friction between the skin and the bony surfaces beneath, especially during kneeling or flexion movements. Under normal circumstances, this bursa is nearly invisible on ultrasound because it contains only a trace amount of fluid. However, when inflamed, it becomes distended and more easily visualized. There are two main clinical indications for ultrasound-guided aspiration. Diagnostic aspiration, to distinguish between septic and aseptic bursitis or rule out crystal arthropathy, such as gout or pseudo-gout. Therapeutic aspiration, to relieve pain, reduce swelling, and restore mobility by draining accumulated fluid. Contraindications include overlying cellulitis or skin infection, uncontrolled coagulopathy, or allergy to lidocaine or antiseptic agents. Now, let's discuss patient preparation and positioning. Position the patient supine with the knee slightly flexed. You can place a rolled towel or small pillow beneath the knee to expose the anterior surface optimally. This also relaxes the quadriceps and helps with probe positioning. Clean the entire prepatellar area with an antiseptic solution using a sterile technique. Drape the area to maintain sterility throughout the procedure. Use a high-frequency linear transducer, preferably between 10 and 15 MHz, as the prepatellar bursa is quite superficial. Place a sterile probe cover and apply sterile ultrasound gel to maintain a clean field. Prepare a 10 or 20 milliliter syringe, a needle, typically 18 to 22 gauge depending on the expected fluid viscosity, and 1 to 2% lidocaine for local anesthesia. With the patient ready, begin ultrasound scanning. Start with a longitudinal scan of the patella and patellar tendon, then scan in the transverse plane. A distended prepatellar bursa will appear as an anechoic or hypoechoic fluid-filled structure, usually anterior to the patella. In acute cases, the fluid may be clear and anechoic. In post-traumatic or hemorrhagic bursitis, you might observe echogenic material or septations suggestive of blood or debris. In chronic bursitis, the buccal walls may become thickened and synovial hypertrophy may be present. You may also identify internal septations or calcified deposits. Color Doppler imaging can help detect increased vascularity along the buccal walls in active inflammation. One important tip: always compare the contralateral knee. This helps differentiate between physiologic fluid and pathologic swelling, especially in subtle or early cases. Once you've identified the distended bursa, proceed with the aspiration technique. Begin by infiltrating the skin and subcutaneous tissues with lidocaine. Advance the needle slowly and carefully to avoid sudden patient movement. Always aspirate before injecting, and monitor the patient for discomfort or signs of vasovagal reaction. Insert the needle using an in-plane technique, often from lateral to medial, under continuous ultrasound guidance. The goal is to visualize the needle tip at all times as it approaches the buccal cavity. Once the needle enters the fluid-filled space, aspirate gently. Collect the fluid into a sterile container for analysis. If the fluid is cloudy, purulent, or blood-stained, send it for gram stain, culture, cell count, and crystal analysis. In cases with thick particulate or clotted content, a larger bore needle may be necessary, and saline lavage can assist in clearing the cavity. Avoid aspirating directly through visible panus or thick synovial bands. These areas may resist suction and complicate diagnosis. After aspiration, if the fluid is non-infectious and there's no concern for crystal arthropathy or septic bursitis, you may proceed with a corticosteroid injection. Inject a low-volume corticosteroid, like triamcinolone or methylprednisolone, mixed with a local anesthetic, such as lignocaine, directly into the bursa. This reduces inflammation and minimizes the risk of recurrence. Avoid injecting if the diagnosis is uncertain or if infection is suspected. Always reconfirm the diagnosis clinically and with laboratory support. Post-injection. Perform a final ultrasound scan to confirm appropriate fluid dispersion and rule out complications such as tissue tracking or extravasation. Next, provide post-procedure instructions and monitor for complications. Apply light compression dressing and advise the patient to rest the joint for at least 24 to 48 hours. Activities such as kneeling, squatting, or jumping should be avoided during this period. Instruct the patient to watch for any signs of infection, redness, warmth, fever, or increased swelling. These signs warrant immediate medical attention. Most patients experience symptomatic relief within 1 to 3 days, and recurrence is uncommon if the underlying cause, such as repetitive kneeling, is addressed. Potential complications include bleeding, infection, post-injection flare, synovial cutaneous fistula, or rarely, persistent pain due to incomplete aspiration. In summary, ultrasound-guided aspiration of prepatellar bursitis is a safe, minimally invasive, and highly effective procedure. It enables both diagnosis and treatment, improves patient outcomes, and reduces the need for systemic medication or surgical intervention. Thank you for joining us in this detailed walkthrough. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel and check out our other tutorials on ultrasound-guided interventions.